Hi everyone, it's John and Shelley back again for another of our Friday Scam Talk discussions. And this week we'll be talking about a scam which was discovered by a BBB in Canada, but had impacted consumers and businesses across the entire of North America actually, and involved both business being scammed and then also consumers being scammed as well. So this one is a little bit complicated. So Shelley, can you kind of walk us through both elements of this scam?
Well, in a nutshell, to begin with, it was a combination of a work-from-home scam and then business identity theft. So what happens in this type of scam is usually a scam marketing boards, and someone will respond to that ad and go to work for the scam artist. And usually what happens is you're in charge of some sort of financial information with the business that you're going to work for. And in this case, what happens this week is that the consumers who were working from home, they received checks in the mail, and they were instructed by their so-called employer to deposit the funds into their own account and then transfer the money elsewhere. Usually that's done by wire transfer services. In this case, they did that. They deposited checks for more than $4,000 and quickly realized that the checks were fraudulent because they bounced. So what happens in that case is that consumer is then responsible for those funds, and because you wire transferred the money, it's pretty much impossible to trace where those funds actually ended up. In this case, how it was a twofold in the sense that the business's identity was also stolen is that the checks that the consumers got actually had the legitimate contact information for two legitimate and reputable construction companies in Canada. And so they quickly realized that they were part of this work from home scheme because they started receiving a volume of phone calls and inquiries kind of really out of the blue. And they were really from upset consumers who had responded to that work from home job advertisement and quickly realized that they were schemed out of their own money.
So the job advertisement was also these same companies, and then in addition to making it appear that the funds were coming from them, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
All right. So first, we'll talk about the consumer part of the scam and how consumers can protect themselves. So if you're looking for job opportunities, particularly work from home opportunities, what are some of the red flags that people should look for and the ways they can protect themselves?
Yeah, so a couple of things. If you're on the job hunt and you run across generic job postings for titles, that can be one red flag. So in this case, the job advertisements that were fake just said administrative assistant. Typically after that, they're really vague job duties. And I'll be on the lookout too when you're job hunting if the same job posting is posted in multiple cities throughout the country. That can typically be a red flag that scam artists are on a widespread hunt to get victims to fall for the work from home job advertisement.
All right, now for our business viewers who are watching, what can they do to make sure that their name is not used in this? Because even though the scam was discovered and they weren't responsible for stealing people's money, their name is now associated with, so their reputation takes a hit. So how can businesses protect themselves?
Yeah, first of all, it's really unfortunate for the business that is a victim of these types of schemes. Number one, they start getting those volume of inquiries from the upset people, so they're having to use staff time to respond to those phone calls and emails from the upset victims. So there's really not any way to 100% fully protect your company. However, you want to just make sure you're monitoring your company's online reputation in the sense of, periodically do a Google search with your company name just to make sure your business name isn't being associated in any job advertisements that don't belong to your actual company.
And in this case, the business wasn't actually the one, weren't like business accounts were compromised, but that also happens in these types of cases where those checks may actually be legitimate in the sense that they did really come from the account of the company if that had been compromised.
Yeah, that's the extreme situation is when a legitimate reputable business's account information was somehow compromised and stolen, and the scam artist basically reprinted checks with their legitimate account number, routing number, and name and logo on the checks. So it's really important to be on the lookout if you are a business owner and you are a victim of this type of scam. Make sure you're contacting your local Better Business Bureau. What we can do is put an alert in your online BBB business profile. So if anyone checks with us online about your company, maybe they're looking to go to work for these so-called scam artists or these scam artists, they'll see that alert in your business review and quickly realize that you're not associated with that offer.
All right, well, thanks, Shelley, for joining us. Remember, all of our BBB scam tips are available at bbb.org/scam tips, where you can find some advice and how these scams work for a variety of different schemes. And then if you are the target or victim of a scam, we always encourage you to, in addition to other reporting like law enforcement, go to bbb.org/scam tracker and let us know about it so we can track patterns of scams both in our area and across the country, and let law enforcement know about that when they request the information. So thanks, Shelley, for joining us. Everybody have a great weekend.